Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I'm going to be channeling messages for your week ahead. And now, this is a timeless reading, so you don't have to watch this at time of recording for this to apply to you. I like to do these week ahead readings for anyone if it comes across you on your timeline, whether it's at the time it's released or if you're just looking into your future and you'd like to know what the energy of the upcoming week is, then this message is for you. And I want to thank you for being here today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Anything you do to support the channel is welcome and appreciated. So right now, we're going to be taking a look at the week ahead, 7 days, any themes that are coming up, challenges you might face, and advice from Spirit, the universe, your higher self, and other guides. And right now, the overall theme of this week is beginning a new chapter of your life, or at the very least, you have been well on your way to starting something new. And now I do want to mention that at the time of recording, we are coming into the new moon in Gemini on the 26th of May in 2025. And one of my previous readings was about the full Scorpionic moon and a time of release, a time of exhale before bringing light back into your life or our lives. It's a time of deep transformation and healing. So some of you might be going through a very transformative cycle, and it's safe to say it's very much a successful one, is what I just want to say. And it's not just, I'm not here to saying stuff you want to hear. I'm saying what you need to hear, but all your hard work is paying off. So when we look at a new moon to a full moon cycle, especially after going through a cycle, whether it was a Scorpionic moon phase you had gone through before, it is very deep. It's existential. You're diving into your shadows and releasing what doesn't serve you, mourning what is gone. And right now I can feel there's a lot of tiredness around me, exhaustion. Like you are being celebrated in the higher realms. And now I will say to you that I do have an entire playlist surrounding this week, the themes that's come up, and possibly into next week, depending on when you're reading this, as time and space are just not bound to our physical world. And when you're in a liminal space of transformation, all that energy applies to you, whether you're doing it in this week, next week, or in next year. So just keep that in mind. And the first song that I channeled was the song Dead and Gone by T.I. Featuring Justin Timberlake. So the old you is like gone. You are moving on with your life. You've seen a lot. You've been through a lot. Scar Tissue by the Red Hot Chili Peppers came up as well. And so you've been through a lot. You've soared with the eagles. You've flown out of the nest. You swam with the sharks, and you're learning how to be free yourself on your own and be comfortable on your own. So even before I get into your weekly reading, you are in this energy. If you resonate with that right now, if you have gone through that deep transformation, that is going to inform what happens over the next week and even into the next moon cycle, which I might do a new moon to full moon cycle for gifts and blessings that are coming in. So wait till Monday for that. So some lucky numbers I channeled for this week, or numbers and synchronicities you might see, are the numbers 3, 8, 7, 22, 33, 34, and 38. I've got a lot of 3, so that is the Empress energy. That's the moving on, moving upward, birthing a new life into creation, a manifestation number. You are a creator being, forming life as you live, as you walk through the world. the colors of this week, either for you to wear to aid in your transformation or colors that might stand out to you more. The colors green, blue, lavender, and yellow. And those correspond to the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, crown chakra. I see lavender is the third eye and crown, as well as the sacral chakra. So it feels like you're more in your upper chakras after doing a lot of root work. An angel that is either helping you this week or ruling over this week is Archangel Sandalphon. Channeling messages from the divine is not easy, brothers and sisters out there. So you are continuing this life and this path ahead, working with the divine every step of the way. The spirit of all creation speaks to you every step of the way. You might be artists, you might be creators, you might be engineers or innovators, and you are just moving forward on this timeline and this week forward. And this might be just a catalyst. You might be just facing a catalyst to change, and this entire weekly reading might actually kind of manifest something, especially if you're starting out new. So let's get into some weekly predictors of what you might be facing this week. No matter what happens, stand in your own truth. There might be people who are jealous of you during a transformation. If you've been doing a lot of inner work and healing, there will be people who challenge you. And a lot of that has to do with their own personal inner resistance to change and almost questioning you, like questioning your ability to change or your inability to change before might have informed them to jump to conclusions about you and your ability to manifest your world to creation, to change your reality, might end up coming into question next week. Archangel Sandalphon says not to worry about it. Work with her if you're having any trouble, or if you need to work on your throat chakra. You might be either battling a closed third eye and throat chakra this week. If you've been really open and working to open that, but find yourself at a little bit of a loss, that might actually be divine protection. If you need help aiding that, or even dealing with their sensitivities, call upon the angels, call upon God, and work with different aspects of yourself that, if you have been going through a transformation and you know what works as far as kind of blocking or protecting yourself from a lot of wayward energy, work with what you know and stand in your truth. If those of you don't necessarily have spirits or ancestors, deities you work with, and you're kind of at a time in your life where you're just trying to be more bold, noble, standing in your truth, authenticity, and you just are facing a little bit of resistance and backlash from people outside of you, the main message is to just stick with your path, with your truth, and push through the discomfort in a way that is healthy and loving for you. Keep filling your cup, basically. Some of you might have come out of a period where you were looking at yourself and others through rose-colored glasses, and you're seeing the truth right now. And this might come up this week. I'm specifically seeing Monday through Friday. There's going to be this almost like deep, I'm hearing awakening, like you're being burdened with some sort of truth. And now, first of all, there's nothing to worry about with that. It can be something as subtle as a friend, like telling you something that you should have known a while ago, or revealing a secret. Some of you are, I heard, unlocking a mystery. So you have been trying to figure something out for a while and asking for either help or guidance, whether it's some sort of hidden truth within the outside world or in yourself. If some of you had friends or peers who are masking themselves, there might be something coming out, because when we're dealing with Gemini energy, there's a lot of like two-facedness, and now that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's entirely possible for a person to be in the light side of a dichotomy, rather than, the dark side of a dichotomy is being two-faced, like you being black and white either or, whereas the light side of a dichotomy is being the full spectrum. You can be this and that. This and that are true. So when we're looking at the shadow side of Gemini, though, there can be that manipulation, lack of transparency, and some people might. I hate to say this, but some of you might be overhearing gossip about yourself and confirming what you knew about a person. Now, first of all, take that with a grain of salt. That might apply to some of you, and don't act upon that. Do not confront the person who's talking about you behind your back, or the people who are spreading rumors. Take a step back. You feel your feelings, absolutely, but don't take it out on them. You need to be very much true to yourself, but don't reflect the shadow aspect back at them. Just be aware and be cautious is what I'm getting. If you're getting some truths revealed to you, and if that's the case, let's see if we have any advice for how to handle this. Okay, I heard the phrase, let the rose bowl go. Okay, so Sanafon says you're going to have some good news coming to you. Yeah, because when you stick by the side of two-faced friends, or if you engage in, how do I want to say this? If you care or pay more attention to the people who are two-faced towards you and are not kind to you, you are not leaving room for the people, or paying attention to the people, to the ones who reflect back to you a clear light, the ones who are genuine twins, genuinely good for you. There is this sense of don't miss the forest for the trees. You might be hyper fixated on people you knew before who were once friends who you had to move on from, or who are kind of speaking ill words or negatively, or just shunning you for your progress. Focus more on the ones you know love you. Focus more on the ones who fill you up with light and spark joy in your soul. That's what you want to take with you on your journey. It is awfully tempting to want to get stuck and trapped into the cycle of almost wanting closure or even revenge, partaking in the gossip circle of the ones who offend you and hurt you. Don't get caught in the trap. Don't get lured into a fight. People often boast or brag about their own accomplishments because they feel insecure and want people to look at them as sort of this figure of light. And if you're looking at your own accomplishments and are hearing word about people who are speaking poorly about you, first of all, I'm sorry, and my love goes out to you this week. But the best way to handle it is turn to the ones who don't speak poorly. Turn to the ones who fill your cup. And if you don't have anyone in your immediate environment who does that to you, look towards yourself. Look towards the energy healers. Come back to this reading, and I will tell you, you are an awesome being of light. You are a warrior. You are an angel light. You are starseed. You are a child of this universe and this earth, and you deserve more than people to be criticizing your journey, to maybe, looking down on you. You deserve people who will lift you up, to release you from the burden of existing, maybe in a place where you had been suffering before. And you are deserving and worthy of people who celebrate your accomplishments and healings, who are proud of you. So keep that in mind moving forward this week. If you're facing any challenges with gossip and seeing the truth, and there's some pain behind it, turn to the ones that bring you joy. Turn to the ones that fill you up. Turn to yourself and love yourself and nurture yourself, because moving forward, you're just going to let go of all that doesn't serve you. And this might be either a catalyst for permanent change, or some sort of indication of more people you need to let go of. And that's the advice for what to deal with if this is the overall theme or messages coming up this week. And I'm going to see if I can get some good news or further advice, or maybe things that might pop up. Uh, yeah, there might be a little bit. Okay, so now this card is specifically coming up for Thursday and Friday. When regardless of whenever you are watching this in the week, it could also come up 4 days from the point that you are watching this, like 4 days into the week. Or even for some of you, this came up in a previous week, 4 days ago. There's something about standing in your way or blocking your truth from coming out. You might be, okay, this is very specific. A few of you might be awakening to previous and future incarnations. If you have done some past life regression, previous incarnations might be influencing this week ahead. And now I just heard I'm losing some of you. So if that doesn't apply to you, disregard this. But for a few of you, this message is specific. If you are reliving or encountering a previous incarnation, because the soul doesn't die, it goes from one chapter to another. So like I'll give my example of something that came up recently. Like when at a very young age, I remembered a previous incarnation that actually happened 3 or 4 lifetimes ago. But because there were certain things I didn't heal from that lifetime, and also because my soul is pretty consistent, I was the same person I was in that life. I kind of just remembered it very early on. It was like my soul didn't take a break between those times, those lifetimes. And so I was just reliving that as if it's happening now because my soul is in that frequency. I'm remembering it now because I'm in that frequency. And now the burden of those lifetimes I lived where there was pain and shadow is being lifted because I am focusing on my light. And now, if you're even looking back in the past at all that you lost before, if this isn't specifically a previous incarnation or a future one, this has to do with something you faced in your life before all this happened and before you began this new chapter and before you chose to do this healing journey, move on. Something earlier in your life, maybe your adolescence, maybe teenage years or middle school, before you lost who you were back then. You are reliving that time. It's almost like you're releasing the burden of knowing who you were back then and that part that was missing from you. You are releasing the burden of being someone else, being forced to lose that inner child. There is a wound surrounding forcing yourself to wear a mask, whether it was because of your family of origin might have kind of made you into something that you didn't want to be, and it was a generational karmic wound, or if you were just experiencing a group of people you didn't really seem to fit in with well, and you forced yourself to be part of that group or community, you are basically unmasking yourself and all these swords behind you. You are the star. You are not blind. You are not blocked from your truth. The biggest thing standing in your way is fear. And knowing yourself, unlocking that inner truth and wisdom is going to get you through whatever obstacles you might face, because you might actually have this experience around this time where you're just realizing the truth of a situation with you and a former friend group, or you with a former colleague or job or your work experience. Something from your past is being brought to your attention so you can unlock your future to become a newer, better version of you. But the better version of you is based on a version of you that existed before you chose to wear a mask or you were forced in some way to conform. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in this life, but you might have had to do that in your childhood. So this might be a very pivotal week, or not. This could be just something from your past coming up, because it just feels like the thing standing in your way and blocking you from the truth is the sense of you think you don't know, but you actually do. You just are kind of not wanting to see it because there's pain. And let me see if I can get any clarifier cards or advice for you. Okay, so there is a karmic turn of the wheel, and it's all based on choice. You get to choose where your life turns from here, because everything in this world is, how do I say this? is dependent on your informed decision to change and manifest the life you want to live, no matter what boundaries or limitations you think exist. Because there are physical blockades, there are physical bars and doors and windows and walls that we can't all get free from, or it is very difficult for us to go past. Whether it's the boundaries of the law in our society, the different sorts of households or families we're born into culturally, there are still like these dangers and barbed wire fences put in place. But when it comes to an internal decision to change your mind, it is by design that you can flow forward, because the only limitation and blockage is in your mind. But you have to make a choice. The wheel's in your hands. Are you going to turn it, or are you going to stand in place? You have all the power and potential to turn this wheel of fate to light and good, even as painful as it is to end a cycle. Even if you feel like you have no choice, you always have the choice to walk away and move on and say no to people and say yes to other people and not engage with people who belittle you or talk behind your back. Even though you might feel on an egoic level, I have a right to stand up for myself. It's like, but they don't care. They're attacking you, or they're saying these things to you or about you because it gives them a sense of power. They're not saying it to hurt you. They're saying it because they're hurting themselves, and they don't want to lose you. They're afraid of losing you. They're afraid that you're doing the work that they cannot do and you're moving on. They don't have a person to put their wounds or attach their sins to anymore. They're losing someone. That's why people say those things. That's why people mock and belittle. They are hurting. They can't change. They can't move on. They are making a choice to stay stuck. And you have a choice and the free will to say, I'm just going to ignore that person. I'm going to walk away. Better to be happy than right. So choose you and the people who respect you, and don't engage with those people. Because if you engage with them, you're going to be stuck in that cycle of moving backwards, stuck in that snake eating its own tail. Like, yes, things come in cycles. You have the free will to choose to break it. And that's what's happening this week. So I just want to say, like, it is also very heavily implied that when you choose to do this, your manifestations will come true. So let me look at that for a second. Actually, I'm going to replace this. So I pray you choose what's best for you. And it's okay if it takes time to make that choice. Like, you do you. There's nothing wrong with engaging with people who belittle you. I'm not saying that you don't deserve the same amount of respect and happiness, even if you fall back into an old cycle. In fact, you are worthy of love, no matter what you choose to do. I guess for me, I highly recommend you do all those things. But regardless, you still have a choice, and the universe, your higher self, and these angels love you no matter what choice you make. This is for you and your highest good. This is to free you and to align you with your manifestations, because the universe loves you. We all love you. Like, you are my brothers and sisters, and I just want to channel these messages so you know that, this might be going on more than 1 week. But if you are facing this a week ahead and you're getting this warning a week ahead, you can make better decisions, because now you can make informed decisions. And interestingly, I'm talking about the snake eating its own tail. Being trapped in a cycle is what you are freeing yourself from. This is some sort of manifestation that you made a while ago is starting to get rolling. I'm hearing the wheels are turning. As you turn this wheel, you're going to get out of this time of stagnation and holding on to expectations, outcomes in the past. Like, letting go of this time of imbalance, inequality, like not getting back what you deserve. And you get back what you deserve and what is rightly owed to you from the universe, from the energy you put in, from your good karma. You move into that, the more you let go of these people that you are currently giving your energy to who aren't worth it. This back and forth of pouring into those who don't pour into you, and to, move forward to this timeline, you're energetically aligned and ready to go. You're transforming this part of you. The Four of Coins, or the Four of Pentacles, is letting go of this material world, something from your past that is weighing you down. You don't need to go back there. You don't need to look at it. It's good to have reminders of what you learned in the past, the lessons you learned. Hence the message of scar tissue. It's like you learned from your wounds. You're moving on from your wounds. And you're not cutting the people who cut you, is what is turning this wheel of fortune to good karma, because you don't give back to people who choose to hurt you. You don't fight darkness with darkness. You fight it with light. You tame your own shadow. But if there is some grief with having to be the bigger person and moving on, talk to the angels, talk to Sandalphon, come back here, or listen to your playlist, or listen to more messages coming through, because I'm going to put out a full moon to new moon, or sorry, new moon to full moon blessings and divine guidance from the universe reading coming up soon, because I really do want to see what type of blessings are coming in after all these shadows have been released, because the universe is all about balance. You're finding balance in the material world. So don't stay stuck during this transitional phase. Just know you have the choice, and even if you don't choose to move forward, there's always next week. There's always next year. There's always next lifetime. There's no pressure. Like, I took 4 or 5 lifetimes, incarnations, to get to this point where I'm like, you know what? I don't really care what anybody thinks. I have overheard people gossiping about me and said nothing. And I prayed for them when I literally saw them eating their own words, and I pitied them. I know what it's like to go through this transition and the grief involved. And the biggest thing to note right here is to not fear what's coming up, not fear your shadow. Just, you have so much inner light, and there's so much resilience here. You can get through this, and I know you will. So I want to thank you once again, dear viewers, for joining me. I send you all my love and wish you the best this week forward. I will see you again in another reading.